Hello Lovebugs, it's me Loverrlee. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry I haven't posted in a little while. It's been a week since I posted last because, oh my gosh, this took me forever to build. If you guys don't know what this is actually, well, basically it took me forever to edit is what I'm saying because I actually streamed this over on my Twitch channel, so that's twitch.tv/Loverrlee. This is a cliff house build, a celebrity cliff house. Basically, I wanted to do a $1 million challenge. I wanted to see if I could get to over $1 million worth home in The Sims. We do eventually get there. Spoilers. I always do that. I'm sorry. I never say spoilers beforehand like I'm supposed to. I say it after, which is like, that's not helpful at all. But, sorry. So, spoilers. We do make it. We get to the million. But, oh my gosh, you guys, this took me so long to build. It took me like a month, literally, I'm not kidding you, of streamings, like stream sessions, whatever. Like, it took like 4 or 5 different streaming days. And like, I went like sometimes like toward the end there, I think I streamed an 8-hour day. It was ridiculous. Anyway, but again, yeah, all of these streams, hopefully, as long as there's no like accidental copyright, you know, music being played, which I try not to play on my streams because it makes it hard to save them. Hopefully I'll have all of these streams actually saved as well, so depending on when you're watching this, I will be able to link potentially all these streams, because like I said, it was like 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, I can't even remember, it was so many streams. But basically the first stream, that's why I had to do this in 2 parts too, you guys, because like literally the first stream, it took like 5 hours just to get this front part right. And that's because I was building off of you know, photo reference. So I found 3 pictures of like 3 different angles of this one side of a cliff house mansion, and then the next stream I actually found the quote-unquote other side. So you'll see that in a little bit, but basically I don't even know honestly if those are the same mansion. Like, I still can't quite tell if it is, but I mean, I made it work, so I think I'm 95% sure it's the same mansion. Anyway, at any rate, if it's not, then we came up with a pretty neat like mix of the two. But basically just trying to get the layout to like work. That's why I like am indecisive with all these like moving everything around. Also, I sped this footage up quite a bit, so and then in the next part, like, I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts. I didn't want to do it in any more than 2 parts, but in the furnished, oh gosh, and it's just like, yeah, see, that's what happens. Like, when I'm recording, when I'm also talking to some people, sometimes I'll have like this long like stretch of like me just trying to keep up with chat, and then it's like, it's so hard to cut those out, so I do apologize. But hopefully, I mean, it hopefully won't be too distracting if we'll have like a couple pauses here and there. But yeah, basically, this like the building of all the exteriors, which is obviously this part. This is Celebrity Cliff House part 1, where it's only the exterior that I'm worrying about to show you guys in this video. Yeah, it's sped up pretty fast, but then in the next part, because I've already like edited the whole video, I'm just gonna record right after this one too. But in the next video, oh my gosh, I've speeded it up so fast. I hope you guys don't get sick by how fast I've had to speed it up, because of I just really didn't want to make it a 3-part thing, you know. So I hope you guys understand, because yeah, I end up having to furnish like an entire mansion, which is ridiculous. I've never built anything like this, I should say. Also, you know, when I was building this for the month of streams, because you know, I only stream like once a week anyway, so that's what I mean by I took a month to do, because I you know, stream once a week. There's only so many weeks in a month, so if that didn't make sense before. But yeah, basically just trying to figure out trying to make this match. Now this part was so frustrating. So basically in the photos, and I don't know if I'm going to end up using those photos, the reference photos. I think I probably won't show you guys the reference photos. You'll just have to believe me, or you can go over and, like I said, watch the streams, because then you'll see which reference photos I was using. But I just don't want to accidentally get like hit with a copyright claim, because obviously those photos are not my photos. I did not go to that celebrity cliff house mansion in, you know, LA. Supposedly it's a real mansion that I'm basing this all off of. I'm not gonna include those photos just because I don't want to be like sued, basically, because it's like, those are not my photos. I did not go to that real mansion and take those photos myself, but it apparently is a real mansion, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, I've never built anything like this. Like, I just don't usually build modern houses, let alone something this giant. Okay, so here we are finally, I think, on this side, trying to figure out what to do. Oh yeah, I was just gonna kind of wing it. I was gonna be like, okay, and then we have like this giant brick cylinder out the front. Yeah, like, have I mentioned I'm not good at building modern mansion stuff? Like, I usually typically build things like, my preferred architectural style to build in The Sims, honestly, is like Victorian houses, like, because Victorians are fairly easy if, you know, there's like a pattern to them. I don't know. Some people say modern super easy, but I just always find like my modern houses end up looking like boxes. So that's why I wanted to do, like, look how cool this looks. And that's because, you know, no shame in using reference, right? I only was able to get it to look this cool because I used somebody else's, you know, architecture. Some really cool architect. You know, if I had done any real research, I would have told you guys, like, who is the actual architect of this build. That would be kind of cool. Anyway, you know, it was a simple search too. I was just like celebrity cliff house into Google, and this is pretty much the first option that came up. So so, you know, maybe you guys can find out and let me know in the comments if you are curious. But yeah, I thought it had this really interesting little architectural detail there, trying to lift up like that one left side, basically. And I tried to get it pretty much, like, I even get eventually like that slope up to that deck up there, because basically it's supposed to look like that deck is actually supposed to be the quote-unquote driveway for the car. Now, of course, anyone who actually knows and plays or owns The Sims 4 should know that we actually do not have cars in The Sims 4 yet, sadly. So we don't actually have real driveways and things. But the cool thing about this is that we did just get, you know, the terrain tools, so that's really awesome. So I was actually able to use some terrain tools in this build to, you know, get it to look really neat. Now, of course, I only use it a little bit, but, you know, here's the one thing I will say is that I did not do a great job when it came to trying to do any sort of landscaping. And I said this again, I'm gonna repeat myself a lot here, you guys, from this part and the next, but because I'm so used to saying all this when I was streaming it and everything else. But basically, I'm not good at landscaping. It's probably the thing that I feel like the least confident in. And is my footage just completely stopped? How long is this little part? Oh no. Okay, there we go. You start up again. Sorry, guys. Yeah, see, it's so hard to edit that stuff out that I'm just gonna, like, cause I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with editing, or at least the way I do my editing. Like, I always have to do the footage, raw footage first, and like speed it up so that it's like consistently sped up, you know? Because I can't have it like super long, like super fast and then super slow. Like, you guys would be able to tell. Just trust me on that. You'd be able to actually tell if I was going, like, speeding it at different rates and whatever. And then what I do is then I put all the photos that I'm going to use, and then I have to put in all my music so it all fits. And trying to then go back and, like, edit your video, and then I'm doing my recording, like, right now. So that's the last step, is me talking about the, you know, the build that I'm doing. So just in case you guys are any of you who are curious, I know some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because I know a lot of other simmers out there in the community also watch my videos, and you guys know what's up because you make videos too, and you know how it goes. Or it's like, it's really hard to edit the footage like once you're at this step, like recording. Anyway, if you don't understand what I just said, don't worry about it. Let's move on. Basically, I love this build because, yeah, here's where I am finally actually making it look decent on the other side. This is what I was talking about, you know? So, oh man, and these half walls, they kept, oh, this is one thing that I hate about this game, right? Do you see how many times I've repainted that exact same half wall? Because every time you'd add a new half wall, the paint would go away. So that's an annoying glitch. But as you can see, I have like some terrain tool stuff started. So I like raised it up. So it's like basically that middle floor, it's like, it looks like a middle floor, but really it's, oh my gosh, here we go. I was like, oh, why are there so many long pauses? Okay. But yeah, basically those middle floors are actually, it's actually there's like a basement floor underneath it is what I'm getting at. You guys will see in the screenshots, or you'll see at least in the next part. Yeah, anyway. Oh man. But like, this was, like I said, seriously the most tedious build I think I've ever built in my life. And for good reason. You know, it's $1 million home. I don't know any other simmers who thought this was easy compared to all the other builds that they built. I'm pretty sure everyone who's attempted this $1 million build challenge would agree with me. It's gonna be the hardest build you've ever made because it is so hard. You guys see right now the lot value right there? It says it's only 189,703. That's like not even a fifth of the way to my goal. It's ridiculous how expensive, like how cheap actually this house is compared to what it needs to be. But of course, once you start furnishing it and stuff, yeah, then we get into some territory where it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna make our goal then. But oh yeah, so another cool thing is I loved about this house is that there was a pool in both the front yard and the backyard. It was really epic. Oh yeah, see that stupid corner right there? I struggle so hard with that stupid corner for the path because like otherwise, okay, you guys are like, what are you talking about? Well, it will come back a little bit. I'm messing with the pool right now, but oh yeah, here's that basement level I was telling you about. This is basically where the majority of the house is. Honestly, the majority of the living space is in this basement area, but it's cool because you we put windows from the pool into that basement area, which is really neat. So when you're downstairs in the living room, like the main living spaces, then you get to see into the pool, so which is really epic. Yeah. I can't believe I haven't said this yet, but man, I mean, this is definitely a cool place to live, I would say, you know. I would definitely, you know, if someone said, hey, you get to live here for free, I would definitely live here. You know, it's like, okay, it's not normally, like I said, it's not normally the kind of place I would normally choose to live, but if someone were to offer me to live here, just, you know, out of the blue, like, heck yeah, I would live here. Yeah, anyway, one of these days, maybe this is a huge maybe I'll end up making like a more traditional home for the $1 million home challenge as well, because $1 million mansion challenge, I mean, because I felt like, honestly, it was also really difficult to make it modern and expensive, because if you notice, a lot of the things in the catalog are actually, like, the more expensive an item gets, it's like, it's not modern anymore. Like, modern furniture, you know, like IKEA furniture is actually quite cheap compared to traditional furniture. So yeah, that's why I'm like, actually, you know, I was seriously considering, like, I was like, why did I try to do this modern build? Because it's actually it was actually a lot harder to get to the million just because it was modern. But yeah, anyway, here I am trying to mess around with these staircases. Like, I wanted like some sort of like quote unquote grand entryway. However, I'm not even sure if that like I don't know if really this qualifies as a grand entryway, especially since, like I said before, I did not do any sort of landscaping. I would suggest maybe on that cliffside, it might be cool, you know, if you somehow, like, if your Sims somehow happen to have a money tree, which, let's be honest, if they're gonna live here, they're probably gonna need a fresh, healthy batch of, you know, like a grove, basically, of money trees. So that's why I kind of left it blank too, because I was like, if I do end up playing this, which I do want to play in this house with my Get Famous Sims, or at least try to have them maybe earn the house. I'm not really sure how that's gonna go, but it would be really fun to like play in this house as celebrities, and it would be really cool if they had money trees and they just like filled out the whole space with like 500 money trees, you know. So that, or at least along the cliffs, maybe, as if they're able to harvest them. I'm not really sure how that works either, but again, one of those things that like I will eventually play around with, but I would be doing that on my, like I said, Get Famous Let's Play. And for those of you guys who don't know, I didn't start a Get Famous Let's Play exactly, but I did play around with Get Famous right when it started, like right when it came out. I made this one character, her name was Betty Bow, and totally not a ripoff of Betty Boop in the slightest. But yeah, we've played with her a little bit. But anyway, here are the screenshots, you guys. So basically this is it, and yeah, this is all the exterior architecture, and in the next part we'll be furnishing it up, completing this build. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching this. Thank you so much. And if you want to download this, it will be on the gallery. Of course, it will be fully furnished on the gallery, but under #Loverrlee or the EA ID, The Last Love Bites. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.